Right, welcome guys to my live webinar on effective weight training. This is my first live webinar, so bear with me. I've already forgot my easel, so I've had to make shift, but we should be all good to go. So let me just give you a brief intro of who I am. My name is Erron. To those of you who don't know, I'm a personal trainer with over 13 years experience. I've been working in commercial gyms, and now I am working as a freelance trainer in a freelance studio, and also working virtually with remote training and clients. And I've also recently created SWEATLDN, which is an online members platform which provides good quality blogs and content, which is just designed to kind of educate and inform our members. Okay, right, so first of all, welcome, whether you're watching this live or if you are watching the recorded version, welcome. This is my first webinar, my first live webinar. So you can say that you was there when Erron delivered his first webinar. Hopefully there'll be many more. But yeah, we are here in Bullet the Gate, which is a PT studio in Holborn, and this webinar is supported by Bullet the Gate and also Huel, which is a nutritionally complete supplement which has all 27 of the essential nutrients that you need. And we are also supported by Active Water, which is an alkaline water, spring water, which has added electrolytes and has been ionized to a pH level of 9, so it's very healthy for you. Okay, right, so the Sculpt plan. So this plan has been trialed and tested 3 times over. We're now in the 3rd edition, and it's been trialed over by groups of my clients, and I've tried it out as well. And you may have seen some of the results over 12 weeks, which is the transformations that my clients have made, and they were amazing transformations. So what I'm doing here today is I'm going to give you a breakdown of one of the workouts that I provided the group. I'm going to explain the structure, I'm going to explain the format and the methodology behind the program. Because what I realize is that a lot of people who go to the gym and who are not successful are because they don't have a plan, their workouts are not structured, and after a few weeks of not seeing any kind of results, they give up. I mean, I'm already noticing the gyms are starting to empty out already. So this is me kind of providing my expertise to you, and kind of, like I said, giving you the breakdown of my Sculpt plan, and hopefully it will help you. So let's get into it. Right, so you may not be able to see all of it, so what I'm going to have to do is bring it up closer to you. But here is one I prepared earlier. I know, quite cheesy, I know, sorry. But yeah, so this is my workout plan. And what you can see here, you've got, down this side, you've got A1, A2, B1, B2, B3, B4, C1, C2, C3, and then D1. And what that is the letter is the group sequence, and the number is where it falls in that sequence. So for example, A1, A2 means that in that group sequence, you do exercise 1 first, A1, and then exercise 2, A2. So the whole program is done in supersets, right? Supersets mean basically when you pair up 2 or more exercises together without any rest in between. And the reason why I do that is because essentially you want to get the greatest bang for your buck. What that means is you want to get the maximum out of that workout in the time that you have. I'm not one of those people that train for hours and hours on end. I like to go in the gym, make sure my workout is intense, and within 45 minutes, I'm done. Either side, I've got my warm-up and my cool-down, of course, but 45 minutes is my workload, and I like to keep the intensity up. So what I've done here is I've got many supersetted exercises together, and I've followed the format of doing a push exercise followed by a pull exercise. So the push exercise is done by the lower part of the body, and then the push exercise, the push is done by the lower body and the pull is done by the upper body, and vice versa. If you're doing a pull action with your legs, you're doing a push motion with your upper body. And the reason for that is I want to get my heart circulating blood all around the body. So if I was just working upper body for the whole session, the heart would just be pumping blood to that area and your heart rate would be fairly low. But because I'm getting the heart to circulate blood all around the body, it's working that much harder to push blood down to the legs when I'm doing the legs workout, and then transferring that blood all the way up to the upper body. That method is called peripheral heart action, okay? Peripheral all around heart action, okay? So that is the method I use for the program that I've created here. So you've got your exercise, you've got your sets. So I'm going to just work to a basic set of 3. I'm sure many of you are kind of familiar with working to 3 sets. So I'm going to stick with 3 sets. So the rep ranges, I've gone from 8 to 10 reps. So the reason why I work within a range is because I want to make sure that every set I'm failing at my maximum, right? So I don't want to be completing 3 sets of 10 each time. What that shows is that I'm not working to my maximum capacity and the weight is too easy. What I effectively want to do is maybe hit 10 reps on the first set, hit 10 reps on the first set, maybe hit 9 on the second, and then 8 on the last set. If you're doing 3 sets of 10 and you complete all the reps, then I'll say the weight's too easy and it's time for you to kind of increase. But this 8 to 10 rep range is what we call hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is building up lean muscle, okay? So if you want to increase your strength, you'd work on a rep range of maybe 3 to 6. And if you wanted to increase your endurance, you'd work on a rep range of 12 to 15. But here, keeping it basic, we're going to do 8 to 10 reps. And then what we've got here is tempo, okay? Right, so we've got 4 numbers. I don't know if you can see, it's quite bright. So we've got 4 numbers. The first number relates to the lowering phase of the movement. So let's say my first exercise is squats. So the lowering phase, I would take 3 seconds lowering down. The second number is what I do at the bottom. So I'm going to pause for 1 second at the bottom. So 3 seconds lowering myself down in the squat. Pause for 1 second, push up for 1 second, and then at the top, there's no break, and then I'm going to start heading straight back down. So those are the 4 numbers that I use for my tempo. The reason why I do that is because I want to increase the time that I place the muscle under tension. So a lot of people, when they work out, they do their reps as fast as they can, and let's say they're doing 10 reps of bench press, it'll probably take them maybe 20 seconds to complete. But by me following this method of this time under tension, it would take me to do those same 10 repetitions, maybe 45 seconds. So for my program here, I ensured that for each rep and each set of exercises took me 45 seconds to complete. So me and someone else who are doing the same workout, but I'm following a time under tension tempo, I would get a far greater workout just because my muscles placed under stress for a little bit longer. Okay? Right, so those are the main aspects of the workout. And then lastly, we've got our rest periods, okay? So if you're looking to kind of burn fat and build lean muscle, you shouldn't be taking no longer than 60 seconds rest. Yeah? So don't stay off your phone, stop scrolling on Instagram, Facebook in between your sets. I know you'll see loads of people doing that. You want to be doing 60 seconds rest and then getting straight back into the workout. The idea is to keep your heart rate high so you're burning the most calories that you can. Okay, right, so I'm going to break down the workout to you that I followed. So, like I said, the sequence group is A, and then where the exercise falls in that sequence is the number. So we've got squats, A1, and then we have chin-ups or lat pull-down. So chin-ups is more of the more advanced method, and then we've got lat pull-down as an option. So A1 would be squats, and then A2 for me was chin-ups. So what that means is without any rest, after completing my squats, I would go straight into chin-ups without any rest. Okay, so I will do that for 3 sets. So 3 sets of squats, and then after each set of squat, without any rest, I'll go straight into doing my chin-ups. Again, following that tempo, 3 seconds down, 1 second pause and squat, push up, and then straight down. And then on the chin-ups, it's 3 seconds on the lowering phase. As soon as I get to the bottom, I pull straight up, and then I'm pausing at the top. And then after that 1 set, I have 60 seconds rest, and then I repeat again, squats and then chin-ups, and I'm doing that for 3 sets, okay? So that's how I start my workout. The best way to start your workout is put in the exercises with the biggest bang for your buck, okay? So the exercises which are gonna kind of demand the most of you. So what I focus on is compound exercises. Compound exercises are exercises that focus on more than one muscle at the same time. So, for example, the squats will work your glutes, your quads, and your core muscles as well. So I'm getting three for the price of 1. And then on the chin-ups, I'm getting my back, my biceps, and my core as well. Again, 3 for the price of 1. So at the beginning of your workout is when you want to put the most strenuous exercises. So for here, I've got squats, and that's followed by chin-ups. And I'll do that for 3 sets. Okay, so moving on to this next section. So in the next section, I go into a hinge movement. This hinge movement is called a Romanian deadlift. Okay, so the reason why I go into a hinge movement is because you don't always want to follow the same plane of movement going up and down all the time, because then your muscles move in loads of different directions. So the hinge movement, the Romanian deadlift, works your hamstrings, your glutes, and your lower back. Okay, and then I followed that up with an incline chest press. So my bench is set at a slight incline with dumbbells, and I'm doing a chest press. Now, depending on how fit you are, depending on what level of fitness you are, for my B section, I've done 4 exercises. So I've got B1, B2, B3, B4, and I've done all those exercises back to back to back without any rest. And then after B4, then I take my rest, which is again 60 seconds, and then I repeat that again and do that for 3 sets. So this is for me, this is my workout, okay? You can break it down into two exercises. So do 2 exercises, rest for 3 sets, and then do another 2, and then move on to the next section for 2 exercises. But for me, I've done 4 exercises. So the exercises were Romanian deadlifts, incline chest press, then I went into Bulgarian split squats, and then an incline row. So the first section was all about the compound movements, the biggest bang for your buck exercises. Into this second phase now I'm trying to work unilaterally. So unilateral means working one limb at a time. Yeah, so each limb is working independently of the other. And the reason why is because loads of the things that we do is one then the other. It's rare that we do things pushing with both legs at the same time. And also working unilaterally helps to alleviate any kind of muscular imbalances that you have. So if you're doing bench press with a bar all the time, what you may find is your right side or your left side, depending on what's your strongest side, will take most of the brunt of the work. And then the other side is kind of getting a little bit of a leeway. And what that will do is create a muscular imbalance. So what I've done is, instead of doing a barbell incline chest press, I'm using dumbbells. So that means my left and my right arm are working individually, okay? So any imbalances, if my left's slightly weaker than my right, it's going to be working just as hard because it is dealing with the weight by itself. So in the second section of my workout is where I start to introduce the unilateral work, where I'm working one limb at a time. So in this case, the incline dumbbell chest press is a unilateral movement because you're holding dumbbells in each arm. Also, you have the Bulgarian split squat. So it's Bulgarian split squat is where you have your foot elevated behind you and you're lowering yourself down with your front leg. So like I said, each leg is working individually, so it'll eradicate any kind of muscular imbalances you have. It's really good for preventing injury. So I'll do that B section 3 times working in a rep range of 8 to 10. Like I said, not trying to get 10 reps each time. It doesn't matter if I get 8 or 9, as long as I fail within that range and I'm working at my maximum capacity. Still sticking with the tempo, making sure that each rep is 5 seconds long, so that if I complete 10 reps, it's taking me 50 seconds to complete the whole set. Right, so the next section, so we've done A for 3 sets, we've done B for 3 sets. At this point, our heart is really beating now. We're starting to sweat. So even though this is a strength training workout, because you're doing legs and upper body, you'll find yourself sweating quite a lot and your heart rate beating at a high rate, which means that you're going to be burning more calories per workout. Right, so we've done A, we've done B. Now we're heading towards the end of our workout. And for this program, in the C section is where we do our cardio finishers. So this is where you're working at maximum capacity, trying to elevate your heart rate as high as you possibly can. And we do this with kind of functional movements like kettlebell swings or ball slams. So really explosive movements to get the heart rate going. So in my program here, I've got 3 exercises as part of my finisher. It's C1, C2, C3. I've got dead mills, farmer walks, and then wall sits. So dead mills are when the treadmill is switched off, you're holding onto the front and you're sprinting as hard as you can. So imagine like you're trying to push start your car and you're into that position where you're kind of low down and you're driving through your legs. That you're only doing for 20 seconds and you're sprinting as hard as you can. So the energy system that you're using, you cannot sprint at a maximum for too long. So I've set it at 20 seconds, you're going as hard as you can. So that is C1, dead mills as fast as you can for 20 seconds. But it doesn't have to be dead mills, but it has to be an exercise that is really going to get your heart rate up. So the examples I gave is kettlebell swings, ball slams, burpees even, something like that that's really going to get your heart rate up and you're working to your maximum for 20 seconds, which is the energy system that we're focusing on. Right, the second exercise is farmer walks. Farmer walks is where you're holding a dead weight, so imagine like holding 2 suitcases and walking a length, a measured out length. So I hold really heavy weights, carry them for 40 meters, which will take me around 45 seconds. So I'm staying within that kind of magic number of 45 to 60 seconds. And you want to make sure the weight is really heavy and you're engaging your core muscles. Okay, so this kind of strongman movement really gets the heart rate up because you're engaging the full body and carrying a major weight. Okay, and then the final exercise is a wall sit where you're squatting down against the wall and you're holding. So that section is an isometric hold. Okay, isometric is where the muscles are contracting at the same. So you're not moving, you're not shortening, you're not lengthening. Your muscles are contracting but staying at the same length the whole time. And that's the first time I introduced that part of the workout. It's good to kind of engage your muscles in different ways. So you've got concentric movements where the muscles are shortening. You've got eccentric movements where the muscles are lengthening on the Romanian deadlifts. And then we have isometric holds with the wall sits. So this section of my workout is the finisher. Okay, that's where my heart rate is really up high. This is where I'm getting a maximum burning as many calories as I can, and I will probably be sweating by this stage. And then finally, we finish with some weighted double crunches. And I always leave my core exercises to the end. The only reason being is if you tire out your core at any early stage of the workout, it's going to affect everything else you do. Everything else you do for the workout. So if you do sit-ups at the beginning and then you go to do squats, your core is going to be already weakened, so that when you're doing squats, your form is not going to be as strong as it would be if it was fresh. So the structure of the workout is, at the start, you do the biggest bang for your buck exercises, the compound movements, which have the largest demands on the body. Then you've got your midsection. This is where you start to introduce unilateral work, where you're working one limb at a time, separately and individual from the other. that's when you start introducing dumbbells into the workout, and that is really good for getting rid of any kind of muscular imbalances you have. Then the third section of the workout is your finisher, where you're doing really high intense explosive movements to get your heart rate up and burn as many calories as you can. And then lastly, you finish up with some core workout. Okay, so that is the breakdown of a section of the Sculpt training plan that I've done myself. You can see the transformation, and also I provided to my 2 sets of groups of clients who've done that as well. Like I said, the Sculpt plan is now in its 3rd edition, and that is the kind of breakdown of the first section. And this section we would do for 4 weeks. So what I would generally do is have 2 different workouts that I would alternate between for 4 weeks, and then after that I would change an aspect of the workout, which may be reduce the rep range, so I'm now working on strength, or I may increase the sets and start doing 4 sets, whatever it is to kind of force your body to kind of adapt again. Because what you'll find is after about 4 weeks, you'll kind of start to plateau because your body's starting to get used to the stress that you're placing it under. Every time that you do a workout, especially if you're working to a high level, you will create little micro tears in the muscles, and within about 3 days, your body will repair itself, and those muscles will repair stronger, so they're able to cope with the load again. So it's a constant process of tear and repair. So after 4 weeks, your body will start to kind of acclimatize, and that's when you start to plateau. And at that point, you'll need to introduce a different stimulus so that the body needs to adapt again. So guys, that is just a brief kind of breakdown of one of the workouts from the Sculpt plan. But I'm not going to leave you high and dry, because I'm sure it's a lot of information for you to take in. I am going to save the video for you to kind of go back to. But what I want to do is invite you to join me on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. I'm going to do an IG Live again, but this time I'm going to physically do a workout like this. And I want you to join in with me as well, okay? So we are going to go through all the processes. We're going to go with the compound exercises at the start. Then we're going to go with the unilateral in the middle. Then we're going to go with the finisher, and then finally finish with a core workout. So it's going to be about a 45-minute workout, Sunday at 10 a.m. And we are going to put this Sculpt workout to the test. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and please put some questions in the comments and I will reply as best as I can. So whether you watch this live or you are watching recording, like I said, thank you for joining me on my first but not last live webinar, and this one was on effective weight training. Hopefully I provided you with some knowledge, and I look forward to seeing you soon.